Hi, welcome back to JM Garage. We're going to do something a little bit different in this Reader's Wives episode. We're taking Reader's Wives down under. Hilary and I have rented a camper van and we're doing a tour of Australia, and we're going to look at the use of the camper van from two different perspectives. It's a 2024 Fiat Ducato. I'm going to be looking at the perspective from drivability, the systems on board and the functionality and driving this vehicle around Australia. And Hilary is going to be looking at comfort, practicality and whether a trip of this type is really doable. As always with JM Garage, we're not sponsored, it's just first-hand user experience. So let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Hilary. Welcome to my crib. Come on in.
Okay, so here we are, Reader's Drives Down Under, camper van edition. A slightly new format for JM Garage with a more beautiful host on today's episode, my wife and life partner, Hilary Chell.
Hello.
Hello. So we are in Australia for 2 weeks. We're doing a mixture of camper van and hotels, just to break it up a little bit. We landed into Sydney and had 2 days in a hotel just to climatise and get onto this time zone.
Yeah.
And rest a little bit after 24 hours of flying. So on day 3 we picked up our camper van from Indie Campers. I'll put links and descriptions in the description of the video. Pickup and collection was really easy. It took about 40 minutes, I think, from arriving at the rental agency, going through a bunch of paperwork, a bunch of extra paperwork. You think you've done all the paperwork online beforehand.
Yep.
You have to do a online check-in to avoid a fee. So there's fees and stuff hidden everywhere. So that's worth noting with Indie Campers. About 40 minutes, paperwork, look around the camper. I did a video of the camper so that once we've been out and about, we've got proof of how it was when we picked it up, which actually came in handy because we only just noticed a little bump on the back of the camper van, like 2 or 3 days in. We knew we'd not done it, but we spotted it, looked back on the video, and it was on the video. So we've got evidence that it wasn't us. So we started in Sydney, picked up in Sydney, drove south along the Princes Highway to a little town called Milton.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. Had lunch in Milton.
What did we have for lunch in Milton?
We went to it was like a vegetarian restaurant.
Yeah.
Just the really simple salads, wraps, toasties, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But actually, banging toasty.
Yeah, it was
delicious.
good. It was a good place.
Really,
There
nice fresh juice.
Wasn't too much to offer in Milton. It was a very small township.
Yeah, they were all very similar sort of places like that, I think. Yeah, but there weren't loads, but it was, yeah.
Nice little spot.
Yeah, I have also, throughout the Australian experience, both in Sydney and when we first stopped in Milton, banging coffee, like really good.
Yeah, great coffee everywhere.
Yeah. So then we went from Milton to, here we go, Bermagui.
Bermagui.
So we've been corrected many times on how we say it.
I still don't
What I
think
think I'm saying is what they're saying, but maybe not. Bermagui.
I think you need a mate on the end.
Bermagui, mate.
Stopped off there for the night. Beautiful little seaside fishing.
Yeah,
surf town.
actually, really nice. A little bit like a trendy surfy vibe to it. But also everybody knew each other.
Yeah,
it was like real sort
place.
of familiar place. Again, went there for a coffee, and in the coffee shop, everyone just really knew each other. It's like they did it every day. Went for a walk, hike, and a coffee and whatnot. But really friendly.
We tried to get fish and chips there, didn't we? But everywhere seems to close very early.
Yeah.
We've just been to another town, which I'll mention later, and the ice cream shop in that town, and it's a busy little town full of tourists. The ice cream was second to none, wasn't it?
It was banging, yeah.
Ice cream shop closed at 5 p.m. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
we would have gone back for another scoop after dinner.
Yeah.
We went for a scoop after lunch. We would have gone back after dinner. It was that good had it been open. I'll put a link to that ice cream shop here somewhere. Bermagui. Camped for the night, and then we set off the next day we got up early actually, didn't we?
We did.
And I'm glad we did get up early because we were only expecting a 4-hour drive.
Yes.
But then our sat nav that morning told us we had an 8-hour drive.
a bit longer than what we'd
rather
thought.
longer than
Yeah.
anticipated. So we were actually awake at 6, up and at 'em, and I think we were on the road for 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, something like that.
And we
yeah.
drove south again to Lake
Lake
Entrance,
Yeah.
which that's the name of the town, Lake Entrance. Again, a beautiful little, very
Yeah.
holiday vibey
Holiday vibey.
seaside town.
Yeah, massive lake, as you can imagine. Was there.
Fishing town.
That's where we got fish and chips.
Really good. Really good fish and
Very
chips.
good. Yeah, we had them with a strange tartar sauce, not
Yeah.
a bit odd.
But it wasn't
But-
mayonnaise based, it was wishy-washy. Different.
But the fish and chips themselves were banging. They gave us some gravy, which is brilliant. Any northerners, we need something wet with our chips, and and laced in vinegar. You just
Oh yeah, it was, it was all about the vinegar.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
happy with that.
Really good fish
So that
and
was
chips.
delicious. Ate that by the sea, and then we went on to
After lunch, where?
I can't remember.
Phillip Island.
Bird Island. Yeah.
After lunch, we had another 4, so it was 4 hours to Lake Entrance, and then 4 hours to Phillip Island. And in Phillip Island, we paid to see the penguin parade.
Yeah.
And that was the cutest
They're
cutest
very,
little birds you've ever seen.
Yeah, very cute little birds. They go out all day, so they leave their little chicks in the nest, and mum and dad go out all day, fishing, whatever, doing whatever, but they only go out in just before sunrise, and they only come in just after sunset, because they don't want to. Obviously, there's lots of predators for them and things, so you have to wait until sunset to see them come in. And then they sort of come to the shoreline in groups, and there's like safety in numbers, so there's groups of them, and they just wait and they just check it out, and then all of a sudden one of them will sort of give the call, and they'll all just run across to the
Into the gyms where the chicks are
living. And they do that in several different groups, so you see quite a lot of them come in, and
There's probably over 100 in total, wasn't there?
yeah, probably so. Yeah.
Running back and running in and out,
Yeah.
and if they go and don't like it, they run back to the sea.
Yeah, I mean there was one
start
guy
again.
that he managed to separate from his group somehow, and we watched him, and he was just getting scared by all the seagulls. I mean, the seagulls aren't going to get him, but he was a really nervous little chap, and he just kept sort of coming out, then getting scared and running back in the sea, and
Very cute.
yeah, very cute. You want to go and give him a hand, you want to pick him up,
Yeah,
and
scoop them up.
carry him to the side.
Yeah. And then, so the next day, that night, we struggled getting an Uber. Ubers were difficult in Phillip Island. It's quite a remote place, but we did manage to get a driver. I don't know if she was a taxi, a driver, or I don't know what she was, but she was very nice.
Very friendly,
and we
yeah.
called her, and she came within 20 minutes. So there is options. We asked at the information desk inside the Penguin Parade
Yeah, they were really friendly.
Centre. And they were really super friendly. We've met a lot of friendly people. So the following day we drove only 2 hours actually to a small town south of Melbourne called Flinders, which is a little peninsula, a little seasidey town. Beautiful place.
Beautiful place, yeah.
And unfortunately on the way, during that drive, during those 2 hours, about an hour in, we started getting some warning lights on the dashboard of the vehicle, and it was transmission fault, ABS fault, power assisted steering fault.
All the faults.
Yeah,
There's a lot flashing.
adaptive cruise control not operational. Like 6 or 7 faults. I'll put photos of them all on the screen. Now I suspect, and from some research I've done, I don't have a OBD2 reader with me. I'm going to start travelling with one. If anybody can suggest a good one, I've seen OBD11 advertised on Chris Slickser's channel that I like to watch. He talks about that one a lot. So yeah, I'd be interested to know if you guys, it'd be nice to have a little travel pocket one. Let me know what you think. But I suspect it's a sensor, maybe a wheel speed or an ABS sensor fault. So we got to where we were going, called the help centre through Indie Campers, which is apparently a 24/7
Support line.
support line
Yeah.
with, well, and breakdown service, but they couldn't get anyone out to us. And
Their immediate advice was to stop driving.
immediate advice was stop driving until we tell you otherwise, until we get someone out to you to check it. And in all, it took them 48 hours not to get someone out to us and not to check it. And after me pushing and setting down some pretty strict ground rules for us carrying on our trip, they said they've spoken to someone in their technical department and they think the van's okay to drive and we could continue on our journey as the van is. So that's what we did. We didn't lose entirely 48 hours. We had planned to be in Flinders for 24 hours, but the second 24 hours wasn't expected.
Yeah, it was.
And we couldn't use the van at all.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So that was a bit of a downturn to the holiday. So we did lose a section of our trip. To be fair, Indie Campers did pay for a hotel room. They have informed me they're going to reimburse me for the hotel room costs, plus cancellation of a campsite that we had booked costs. We paid a premium for recovery and replacement vehicle insurance, which I'm not sure was worth I want to say it was €270 for that. I'll check. I'll outline the price and what we paid for the trip towards the end of the video. So anyway, after Flinders, once we get going again, 48-hour breakdown, we were very happy to get back on the road. We went to a place called Apollo Bay, which is north of Flinders. You have to take a ferry, which took about 45 minutes, Sorrento to Queenscliff, and that saves you about probably an hour or two's drive.
And also really nice.
Yeah, stunning ferry. I think for context it was about 150 Australian dollars based on a 7-metre vehicle length and 2 passengers for a 45-minute ferry crossing.
Yeah. But
beautifully stunning. Really, really nice experience. The food on the ferry. We saw some seals in a little island on about halfway across.
Yeah.
Food on the ferry was okay.
Yeah, had a
it was kind of snacks. They had some wraps.
Hummusy beetroot wrap.
Yeah.
Those kind of thing.
Yeah, a bit of a wrap. I had a Millionaire's shortbread slice and a pack of crisps.
Little gingerbread as well, because it's Christmas.
Good for a snack.
Yeah, it was nice. We were in luck. We were in luck because we drove up, and as we drove up, all the cars were just getting on the ferry.
Oh yeah.
I think they're actually only about every hour.
Yeah, I think
they're not that frequent, are they? So I'm thinking maybe about every hour. But we literally drove up and
paid and got on
and got straight on. But on that ferry, we met some friends who we'd seen. They'd left Flinders maybe an hour and a half before us, something like that. If not, probably like that. So and they'd only just got there. You know, they were only getting on the same ferry. So I think they run about every hour, something like that.
I'm ready when you are.
And we're just going straight in.
Straight in.
Straight in with it.
Raw dog style.
Would you like to tell us what kind of camper this is?
This is a 2024 Fiat Ducato 2.2 diesel with it's a new series of automatic gearboxes that's supposed to be new and improved.
Ooh.
I shall put the exact specification down in the comments and on the screen.
And what's it feeling like driving on Aussie roads so far?
The roads are quite big, so it lends itself well to this kind of vehicle. It's been quite nice.
It's a bit like American style roads, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Parking spaces seem a bit bigger.
Yeah, it seems the infrastructure seems American. The sizing's more like American than European or British. So for that aspect, it's fine. There's quite a few potholes.
That campsite just then was...
campsite was littered with potholes.
Main entrance had the biggest pothole that was difficult to avoid.
And it doesn't love them. But it's not too wallowy. It does feel top heavy, but it kind of is top heavy. It's 3.3 meters high, 7 meters long. It's got good, for a 2.2 diesel, it's got good pulling power. It pulls good up the hills, and there's been quite a few hills actually.
Yeah, a lot hillier than we imagined.
We imagined, isn't it?
Yeah. Particularly Sydney area. Bit better in Melbourne.
Yeah, it was.
Quite hilly. Hilly and windy. So.
Yeah, lots of windy. I've got a lot of driving footage that I'll show of various stops along the way. But it pulls good. The engine noise, actually not a lot of engine noise. Gearbox, no gearbox whine. Nice smooth gearbox changes. It's got adaptive cruise control, which I really like, and I think for when you're doing long trips that's kind of essential. You can just kind of put it on and it takes care of it. One thing to note though, below I think 10 miles an hour it just shuts off adaptive cruise control, so it doesn't do cruise control to a stop, which caught me out the first time it did it. It almost rolled into the back of someone, so that wasn't too much fun. Features wise, it's got Apple CarPlay, which again I feel is essential. Automatic climate control and a rear view camera, which in this thing's pretty good because you can't see anything out the back. Yeah, I think it's a good driver.
It is quite noisy. I don't know that.
Lots of cabin noise.
Lots of cabin noise.
But yeah, there's a lot of these trims on the doors. They're for the nighttime blinds.
Which are great actually. The nighttime blinds work really well, but
it's very noisy.
As soon as you set off, everything's rattling. So you can't really hear the radio very well.
I'd be interested to see how this voice footage comes out over the noise, because it's particularly loud.
Yeah. And how do you feel? I know you mentioned the reversing camera.
Yeah.
How do you feel like with regards to the other visibility with the mirrors and like just having confidence in the size of the van and everything?
Yeah, it took me a day or so to get used to it, as it always does when you rent a van of any kind. I do have a rear view mirror and there's a window out the back, so if there's something close by I can see them. The side mirrors are spot on. They're huge. They've got 2 different zones with magnified at the bottom looking at the road and then out back. I think it's good. Reverse camera comes through Apple CarPlay, so that's good.
I think right at the very first day when you were reversing one day, I got out and
backed in a little bit.
But that was a particularly busy supermarket car park as well. It was there was a lot of traffic there.
Yeah, parking in supermarkets hasn't been easy.
Yeah. But I think other than that, I don't think I've been out again since.
No, it's been good.
Yeah. And sort of comfort and fatigue wise for driving, has it been?
We did an 8-hour trip a few days ago, split up into 2 4-hour sessions, and I felt all right. We had a nice lunch, we had a walk around. It was nice to stretch legs, but the seats are quite comfy.
Yeah, they are.
It's got swivel style, I think they're called pilot seats, which they're...
Yeah,
I like
just
them.
for reference as well, Jonathan does all the driving. I am insured on the van just in case I need to, but I don't particularly like driving. Jonathan really likes driving. Jonathan doesn't particularly like being a passenger. I don't like Jonathan being a passenger. So we settle on Jonathan doing...
It's worked well. That's fine though, I'd rather be driving.
Yeah.
Better for me.
And what about all the sort of systems within the camper van? The sort of power, the fridge, the water, the sort of grey tank, black tank, all that sort of stuff.
Okay, so the power is super easy. I don't know the technical specification on the van's install. I'll try and dig deeper under one of the seats and find the batteries and the inverter and stuff like that. But power's super easy. There's a automatic reel plug out the side, out of one of the hatches, that you pull it out, plug it into the camping shore power. That's super simple, and then pretty much it's an automatic switch over. We've got gas for the refrigeration and cooking. We've got air conditioning, which is kind of a lifesaver out in Australia. Normally it's been a bit cold this week, typically when we've been here, but it is what it is. So the air conditioning only works when you're on shore power, but that's really good. The refrigeration, commented today that the fridge is absolutely fantastic. It's
Yeah.
nice, really good size. It works on electric, gas, and underway battery power, and it switches automatically. You really don't have to do something. You just have to check that it's switched. Sometimes it doesn't. You have to turn it off, turn it on, and it fixes itself out. That's been really good. Super cold fridge. Not had a problem with that. Hot water.
Yeah, that water's been really
good.
Actually.
Again,
really
I don't know the size of the water tank.
Yeah. But and the power of the water is good. Like the
water pressure.
The water pressure is really good. I've showered in the van most days.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the water power is good. The hot water is good. Wash my hair most days. It's it's better than a lot of showers
domestic.
on. Domestic showers actually. So pretty decent.
Microwave oven worked really well. We used it once.
Yeah.
And we've not done too much cooking, but we've been making tea in the kitchen and preparing some fruit and stuff. And there's plenty of space. It's actually well equipped, well spaced. I've not used the bathroom so much just because of my size.
Yeah.
You can see I'm a large built kind of person, and it's a bit of a squeeze in there for me.
To be honest, it's a real squeeze for me. To use the sort of little bathroom cabinet in there is really tricky to get anything in and out. I've kind of had to keep everything just in a bag and just grab the bag and use it outside the bathroom, because the shower itself is a decent size for me. For the rest of the bathroom. Yeah.
And we should mention the toilet system. I'll put I'll try and find out what brand it is. The cassette, cassette emptying and removal and installation, very easy, splash free, clean, simple, really good. And the toilet's good for a pee.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's all right. It's a no toilet paper situation.
Yeah.
Which I'm not loving, but you know. So.
Yeah.
And the setup of the van and the practicalities of it, I think we've kind of touched on that there. It's really quite simple, right?
Like when we dock it, when
we pull up and when we set off again, everything about that's quite easy.
Super easy.
Plugging the fresh water in is really easy.
Yeah.
Discharging the grey water is really easy. The only thing that I think we've come up against is on the campsites when you're not necessarily, those things aren't reachable, or they're not in the right place. Or
I think the camper van could be set up, and this is probably feedback for indie campers, who I should point out we've rented this from. We've not. It's not sponsored, or it's not a freebie. It's a genuine rental for 10 days. I'll put up the price in what it cost us. I'll talk about the rental experience in a little bit later on in the video. But I think it could be better equipped with a longer electricity cable.
Yeah, we had that one day. The electricity was on the other side, and it didn't quite reach, or it was stretched.
Had to move the van a little bit. A longer grey water hose. Also, the grey water hose doesn't fit correct. It's not the correct fitting. There was a couple of water fittings missing that we could have needed. So, but I will talk about the rental experience as such later on in the video.
For me, but I like all those things to be able to be like done, because we're staying in campsites most nights because of the air conditioning, because we want air conditioning. And I like, where possible, all those things. Like I like to leave with a full tank of fresh water, like no grey water. Like I like that. That just makes me comfortable in knowing it's all sorted and set. And I think just those hoses, if they were a bit longer, a little bit.
This morning we couldn't empty the grey water.
Empty it this morning because it just didn't suit the configuration of the campsite. So I think that's the only thing. Do you think you'd use this again? This
particular model?
Yeah, this model, this van.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think I will. I know what to expect now.
Yeah.
And when I pick up the camper next time, I know what to look for and what to ask for. Yeah. In terms of the grey water hose, I'd want an extra length. Yeah. The fitting of the hose isn't right, so it leaks a little bit. Yeah, I definitely will. It's a bit rattly.
Yeah.
But I think you're probably going to get that with all coach built
probably
camper vans. Maybe better quality, less degree, but I think there's always going to be some.
Yeah.
I really like the fixed double bed at the back.
Yeah.
I think for me that's a
Yeah,
nice feature.
yeah. We don't want to be faffing around all the time, putting
Making
a bed
up a
up
bed
and
every
down.
day.
That's not.
Yeah.
It's not for us. I like for the majority of the time for everything to be unpacked and where it's going to stay. That's how I like to be. I have lost things several times. I think that's it. That's all the questions I got for you.
Okay, perfect. Questions complete. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Reader's Drives Down Under. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with your friends. If you'd like to be featured on one of our episodes of Reader's Drives, please do get in touch via TikTok, YouTube or Instagram. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching.